I'm Shane Taylor. You're watching WrestleTalk, and I'm really good at beer pong.
Support WrestleTalk!
See WrestleTalk live in London by clicking the link below. Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk news. I am El Fakador Laurie Blake, and you've all just really weirdly seen inside my mouth for some reason. What you actually just saw was Shane Taylor being too damn good at beer pong. I mean, he's clearly on some sort of performance-enhancing drugs to get that finger flick action. So it's not like he actually beat us at beer pong or anything. Not properly. Not properly, Shane, you cheat. This good old-fashioned game of dirty floorball that goes in a beer cup went down following RevPro's excellent Uprising event in London, which is well worth checking out on their on-demand service. And also well worth checking out is this fella, whose birthday it was and got chopped by every single wrestler in the room at Will Ospreay's after party until his chest looked like a minging bit of bacon. But it's time to crack on with the news now, and you probably guessed that this is one of those longer news episodes. One you might call a super news, a mecha news, but I'm calling Newsimus Prime because I don't know actually. Just am. And we start with Cody Rhodes opening up about the origins of his very favourite thing he's ever had to do ever. The Stardust character. Cody let loose on the low, wet fart of an idea that spawned the character on an episode of Talk is Jericho, and it all started when Cody Rhodes was teaming with Goldust. We had a fun little run. We never wanted to team together, but when we did, it was successful. There's a very real dynamic and a protective element to it, but I think they just thought it was getting a little stale. So, God bless her, Stephanie McMahon just randomly blurted out in Gorilla, "Why don't you paint your face like your brother?" And I'm looking like, just trying to get out of the curtain. And then I saw the old man. I saw Vince just, yes. And he came out of Gorilla, headset off, and he gave me the Creative Services guy's info. WWE Creative Services being about as creative as a kid's birthday party there. I'm surprised we never actually got to see Stardust and Goldust versus the old school Usos in a bouncy castle. Fortunately though, Stardust Cody finally found the cosmic key, and it turns out it unlocked his WWE contract, and things have actually been much better since. But things did take a turn for the worse over the weekend, as Cody tweeted to say that at Ring of Honor's and New Japan's Global Wars event in Buffalo, he heard a pop in his knee while he was teasing a t-shirt toss into the crowd, which is literally never good. He'd hoped that it was nothing major and could still defend the IWGP US Championship against Beretta in Toronto, but unfortunately not. He tweeted to say, "Sadly folks, I will not be able to wrestle tomorrow in Toronto. I will still be at the pre-show meet and greet though to say hello to everybody. Ring of Honor and I will find a suitable replacement for the match. I'm extremely sorry. I'll be able to confirm the extent of the issue after an MRI this week." So here's hoping that it's nothing too serious and Cody is back in the ring soon. In much more positive Ring of Honor news, the company has announced that CMLL star Rush will make his debut for them at Final Battle Fallout on December 15th. Considering that he's previously been the most hated man in that promotion, not exactly sure how positive it will be for the Ring of Honor roster. But along with La Sombra and La Mascara, he is a founding member of my favourite stable to mispronounce, Los Ingo Bananas, so that is exciting news. WWE's biggest feud at the moment seems to be between the locker room and various injuries. And sadly, there might be another one to add to that list. Luke Harper hasn't been seen on WWE TV since his Hammer Bro and my doppelganger Eric Rowan suffered a bicep tear defending the SmackDown Tag Team titles at SummerSlam in August, and then the pair had to drop the titles 2 days later on SmackDown. Not a singular bristle of Harper's beard has been seen on television since, although he did lose to Ricochet a few times on a couple of NXT house shows back in September. However, it now looks like Harper has somehow managed to injure himself too. Over the weekend, Lukey Boy went to watch Brad Williams' stand-up show and was pictured with a cast on his left hand. It's currently not known how or when Harper was injured, although hammering accident sounds about right. Hopefully, he does have a smooth recovery though, especially as there have been reports that WWE were looking to reunite him with Bray Wyatt, who's also been off TV since the Leaders of World tag partner Matt Hardy transitioned to a backstage role in early August, which is exciting news, so long as you forget everything WWE did with the Wyatt family. Someone who hasn't been forgotten, especially judging by the number of people pointing him out in the backstage video of Roman Reigns leaving after his shocking announcement on Raw, is Jason Jordan. Look, it's Jason Jordan! Weirdly, nobody was that excited when he was actually wrestling. He's apparently much better as a Where's Wally kind of figure. And yes, I know it's Waldo in America, but he was Wally first, so anyway, Jason Jolly posted a bit of an update about his neck injury and the recovery process this week. I'm ready to attack this week and make huge improvements. I'm trying to keep my eye on the prize and look at the big picture. Jason Jaldo has been away from in-ring action since February and training backstage as a producer at WWE since his surgery, which is why he was in the Roman Reigns video. Someone else who has been sidelined by injury recently is Alexa Bliss. Sports Entertainment's biggest snitch, Dave Meltzer, is reporting that Little Miss Bliss may be having more issues than recently thought, though. Dave said that Alexa has suffered more than one concussion within the past few months. Ouch. While the number is unknown, Meltz said that the concussions happened in a very short period of time, and that's why WWE is being careful bringing her back to the ring. She has been out of action since an October 19th live event in Maine where she sustained one of her concussions. It's also worth pointing out that Bliss has been transitioned to a manager role recently, backing up her gals at Evolution, although fat lot of good that did 'em, and being captain of Team Raw for Survivor Series. Thankfully though, Bliss isn't getting twisted over her injury. In fact, she's confident she'll be back. So confident that she's deployed a tactical Terminator gif here. Come with me if you want to gif. With all the injuries and the well-wishing for those working their way back to the ring, it's now time to talk about somebody that some people ain't so fussed about returning to the squared circle, brother. Hulk Hogan. The Hulkster did return very recently in a hosting capacity in Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel, which is the equivalent of trying to put out a fire with a bazooka. And after he ran wild with a rambling speech to the Hulkamaniacs in Riyadh, brother don't get caught, brother 24-inch pythons, brother proper apologies and Hulkamania, two things that don't go together, the Crown Jewel Jack, he basically sounded insane. And after all that, WWE are now once again distancing themselves from the Hulkster, if reports are to be believed. Brian Alvarez said on Wrestling Observer Live that WWE social media has been told not to feature Hogan going forward, although he will still return to the company proper at some point. I guess once this whole thing has blown over, which I guess it must do at some point, surely. I mean, it already blows, so we're halfway there. However, that hasn't stopped Hogan tweeting about his own involvement with the company and weirdly suggesting that he is the jackest Jack in town. Jack. Okay, today is a new day. After seeing myself on Crown Jewel, I have decided to get serious and get under 300 pounds. I looked huge, swole, jacked, and my arms are still bigger than most wrestlers' legs. I don't want to look like I can beat up the whole WWE roster anymore. Only love, Hulk Hogan. Kiss kiss. He didn't do kiss kiss, I'm just putting that in there. So Hogan is sizist now too? I mean, he's racking up a lot of ists these days, isn't he? This feels like a strange sort of shoot on the size of the current crop of talent on the roster, or I guess it could be a bit of a work to build to a feud upon his eventual return. Because who should come out of the woodwork to challenge the Hulkster for his sizest comments but Rusev? I think you should start with me. Cool! Another American hero versus a vaguely Russian baddie storyline. And Hulk Hogan's in it. Man, sign me up. Cannot wait for Hulk Hogan's return. But then again, even if he does return, will the other WWE superstars welcome him back with open pythons? WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry certainly doesn't seem to think so. He recently spoke to the folks from Heavy.com on the subject of welcoming Hulk Hogan back into the fold. The world's strongest man said Hulk had to do a bit more to fully redeem himself following the racist comments he made and a whole being banished from the Hall of Fame thing. Henry said, I wasn't going to roll out the red carpet and start going to have dinner with him if he wasn't willing to do all the shit that I said he needed to do. To start, he needs to go to some of these black universities, to these law students, and let them grill him and own it and apologize. Not because you got caught, but apologize because you honestly feel remorse. we may have hit a snag there. Mark also touched on the rest of the locker room's feelings about Hogan returning to the company. There's been a mixed bag on how to resolve it. I've had people being like, to hell with him, and I've had people going, you know what, if he do this and he do that, okay, it's up to him, it's not up to me. So yeah, all is most definitely not forgiven, probably because nothing is apologised for, but also death's not forgiven, so try harder, Terry. So Hulk Hogan may not survive his WWE return if he doesn't say sorry. But who is going to survive come Survivor Series this weekend? Well, I've put together as many rumours as I can find for the show to give you some hints. And you can see them all now by clicking the video on screen. And you know what? Give us a subscribe to stay up to date on all of the latest wrestling news. I've been El Fakador, and that was Lucha.